Hello aspirants. My name is Shivanand. Let me show you how I studied for this 3-year LLB entrance examination conducted by CE. Before starting, let me tell you one important thing. That is, you have to go through last 3 to 5 years of question paper, old question papers. Then you can see how questions were asked. So that should be the first and important step you have to go through. Then, after that, what are the study materials to be used? There are a lot of materials available in the market. There are many YouTube videos. There are many offline books available at the market. So you might be confused. So I also thought why I shouldn't buy some books from the market. I had bought some books, but I understood that those books were not at all updated and there were many mistakes, there were errors. So, after that, I understood that it is very important to follow some authentic materials. So, let me show you what are the authentic materials that I exclusively preferred for this examination. Let us start with some current affairs section and government schemes and important updates from judiciary and from center government and from state related news also. So there is something called PIB. I think you have heard about it. PIB means Press Information Bureau of India. So PIB releases on a day-to-day basis what are the important things happening at the government level, and you know that whenever parliament session going on, MPs start questions in the question hour to the concerned ministries, and those concerned ministers give the reply either orally or written. All these are updated in the PIB. So let me show you how to utilize this PIB for our examination. So you just have to take Google and you can see PIB. You type PIB and take the website. I am going to change the language to English. Then you can see these three lines here. Just click on that and you can see press release here. Open that press release and you can click on all release. Then here on a day-to-day wise basis it is updated. So it is today's date. So let me show you what are the things we can get from this news for our examination. Here the first news is that Vice President Sri C.P. Radhakrishnan launches Har Ghar Tiranga Abhiyan in Andaman Nicobar Islands. So this is something related with some schemes or some, because there is something called launches. So we have to click on this. So what is Har Ghar Tiranga Abhiyan? That is one of that we can ask ourselves. And so you just have to scroll it down and you can see more and more information about this. See, this is something related with history also. Here you can see Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Sorry, because this is in Andaman Nicobar Island only. Subhash Chandra Bose hoisted the tricolor flag first time in Indian territory. So this date, December 30, 1943, this date is very very important because question may be asked like when was the day national, sorry, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose hoisted the tricolor flag. So this date we got it. So that can be one of the important questions. Likewise, you have to ask yourself. Then we are coming down. So what does this Triranga, Har Ghar Triranga Abhiyan means? So we are going to that. It's like we have to take tricolor flag into home. So it is a campaign. And so likewise we have to ask questions ourselves. And there is one another important thing here, because Subhash Chandra Bose on 1943 date December 30, he hoisted the tricolor flag for the first time. And recently this Andaman Nicobar Islands capital's name is changed to Vijayapuram, I think. And Subhash Chandra Bose called this Andaman Nicobar Islands as Swaraj and Shahid Islands. So these are very important questions that has historical relevance. So this is one important thing. Now let's go to another one. So what are the questions you got from this PIB news? First one is, what is Har Ghar Tiranga? That means taking tricolor flag to our home. Then this Vijayapuram. Vijayapuram is the new name of capital city of Andaman Nicobar Islands. And another question is, Subhash Chandra Bose hoisted the tricolor flag for the first time on which date? That we got here. That is on December. Where is that? Here I have already shown you December 30, 1943, and how Subhash Chandra Bose referred Andaman Nicobar Islands. He changed the name to Swaraj and Shahid Islands. That's another question. Now we are going to another PIB news. Here Prime Minister, see, this is also has historical relevance because it is something related to Quit India movement. Let us see what does it mean. So Quit India movement, you know that Gandhi for the first time used do or die declaration. There is nothing else in that. And next one is related to Operation Sindoor. So you can just click on it, and if there is anything related with our examined syllabus, likewise any government operation, the operation name, and any government schemes or important inauguration or any important updates regarding judiciary, that is very relevant. And let me show you one other important PIB news. This one, India achieves landmark 300 gigawatt non-fossil fuel power capacity. This is very important news because let us go through this. See, question may be like, what are the important non-fossil fuel sources? So these are solar, wind, hydro, biopower, nuclear power. So these are non-fossil. So the question can be, another question can be like, what is the target of India's non-fossil fuel based installed electricity? The target is to achieve 500 gigawatts by 2030. That is a target. And over 60% of that target is already achieved. That is another important question. And another important question we can expect is, as of now, the share of non-fossil fuel electricity capacity in the country's total electricity capacity is 54%. That is important milestone achievement. That means more than 50% is from non-fossil fuel. That is clean energy. So this is another important PIB. Now, likewise, you can just scroll down and you can just click on that and you will get some broad perspective on national affairs, and there may be some news related with other states, statewide news. You can just skip that. You don't need to go through everything. But if there is anything related with Kerala, then you should go through. Likewise, let's see. And if you want to go to previous days, you can go back here and you can click on yesterday's date, that is 8th. And here, see, this is related to some states, UP. So we can just skip that, no problem. Likewise, some general things will be there. You can skip that also. You should go through important government schemes, appointments. Likewise, here you can see this is related to BRICS. So which are BRICS countries? Likewise, you should go through. And Bhopal Declaration is related with BRICS Summit. Likewise, You can just scroll down, and if there is anything important schemes or bricks related news, you can make a note of it. And this theme like harmony and peace to all, sometimes question can be like, this harmony and peace to all is related with bricks, likewise. And you'll come to know how questions are asked only after referring previous question papers. Now let's go through if there is any other important PIBs. This one, no charges for UPI users. So what is meant by UPI? You might be knowing. And sometimes the question can be like, UPI transactions are coming under which of the following acts? So the act is Payment and Settlement Systems Act, PSS Act. If you go through here, you know that to use Google Pay, Paytm or any other payment apps, we don't need to pay anything. But recently there was news that government is going to charge it. So government gave a clarification that there is no charges for users, but there is nominal charges for P2P transaction. So question can be like, what is meant by P2P? That means person to person transactions. Likewise. And there is another term called MDR. What is meant by MDR? Recently news related to the UPI. That means merchant discount rate. So likewise, you have to ask the question yourself. For that, you must go through old question papers. That is the only way. And if you go through PIB for some months till the exams, you can expect around 10 to 15 questions in law entrance examination. This year also around 10 to 15 questions were directly from PIB news. Of course, you can get these facts from some other source also, but this is very much authentic and these are all very much updated. We can trust this news. That's the important thing. And on some days, especially when parliamentary session is going on, lot of PIB releases can be there. That doesn't mean that you should go through everything. And most of the time, some releases are repeated in nature. So you can easily skip that. And so this is how you have to go through PIB news for not only for law entrance but for any other examination. You can expect all government schemes here, important government projects, nationwide projects, likewise. So this is one important material to be used for our LLB entrance examination. And this year, I got around 14 or 15 questions from PIB alone. Now, let me show you second important material that I used, especially for polity and constitutional related questions. The book is nothing but Indian Polity by Lakshmikant, the latest edition. This is the latest edition as of now. And from this book alone, this year, not only this year but every year, around 20 to 25 questions, that is very important, were asked from this book alone. And this book is not simple to read. That is the another thing. You have to read between the lines. Sometimes you may get confused, but with your high level of presence of mind, you can grasp it, no problem. And this book is very much essential for civil service examination also. That is the advantage of this book. So, if you go through this book, Indian Polity book by Lakshmikant, and if you go through Press Information Bureau of India releases for some months, then you can expect around 40 to 45 questions. 40 to 45 questions in our law entrance examination. Majority questions are asked from these materials. So this is what I have to tell you in this video. So you will get current affairs, important government schemes, projects, important government missions, and Indian constitutional and polity related facts here. So we shall see in next video with the part 2 section. If you have anything to ask, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you very much.